I wished for the day that married women would get on this app because you can reach so many women and tell the truth about being married. Tell the truth to younger women, women in general, but really younger women, about why you would never do it again. Not the way that you did. Because if you got married women who got on this app and really told the truth and stopped hiding the fact that they've been miserable, they have been so many other things except really truly happy, and if they could do it all over again, they will wait. Not just cancel marriage completely, but they will wait until they understood fully what marriage was about. They wouldn't get married because that's what mama said do or daddy said do. They wouldn't get married because that's what the church said do. They wouldn't get married because they was pregnant and they didn't want to, bring a child into the world. I don't know, that one right there, we might have to talk about that one. But, many other reasons of why they would not have rushed to get married, and they would have lived their single lives and found, who they were and lived their lives before attaching themselves to a man. I wish married women would do that.
Here's the thing no one tells you about marriage, about family. How much you can resent the people you love for everything you had to give up for them, and there's never even a thank you. You just give it all up because that's what having a family demands of a woman. And then you wake up one day and you realize the person that you were meant to be is gone. You gave her up for people who don't even see you. And there's no time to grieve her because there's too much damn laundry. You just wake up one day and you realize that half of you, maybe the best part of you, is dead. And you take it for granted that when push comes to shove, your sacrifices will be remembered and appreciated, and the people closest to you will show you some grace when you need it, and then they don't. Something broke between me and Stan.
That is why I always tell women it is not a bad thing to get married, but I just feel that somehow women are being cheated with this whole marriage thing. Because you know why? You get into marriage, there are a lot of sacrifices that you have to, give as a woman. Going through the pregnancy, birthing, your child or your children, the sleepless nights, the pause on your career, the pause on your business, the endless chores and all that you have to do. I just feel it's kind of a cheating for the women. So that is why I always recommend when your husband is growing, as anyhow you intend to do it, ensure that you grow anyhow. You don't fully pause on what you want to become or that thing you want to achieve as a woman. Because these stages, this marriage, and when we come in and make so much sacrifices, as women, it kind of pause our life. But the man's own is still like progressive. So if you don't really sit back and look for ways you can be progressing, even if it's little by little, you will find out that when you get older, and you do nothing in all these years of this being of this sacrificing as a woman, you might turn into an old bitter woman. Yes, because you realize that you have sacrificed a lot. You realize that you could have achieved a lot if you never wasted all these years sacrificing yourself because of marriage. So you see, try as much as possible to also grow in your own little pace. Even if you're not working, you can do business, you can go online, you can do something, no matter how small.
My grandparents were married for 77 years, and she worked the whole time. He always said he chose her because he saw that she was such a hard worker. Now, when they met, She was 13 and still in school. She was in 7th grade, and he was 18 working construction at her school. They married 2 years later, and she always worked beside him on the farm, and she did most of the work in their business later on. Plus, she did all the household work, the cooking, the cleaning, the dishes, the childcare, while he sat on his butt waiting to be served. Later on, he wanted to have a cafe, and so he leveraged the farmland that her parents had given them as a wedding gift. People came from all around for her cooking. He mostly hung out in the front, chatting with customers, while she worked nonstop cooking in the back. Later in life, she did all the caregiving for both his father and for him. And when she got sick, he wouldn't even heat up his own food. She still had to serve him. When he got sick, she, of course, became his nursemaid. And now they worked 50 years before they retired, she at 65 and he at 70. And he had twice the income that she did because everything had been owned in his name. She had done most of the work for their entire lives, and she was financially dependent on him. Everyone called theirs a successful marriage, 77 years. I call it a lifetime of extracting her labor in the name of love. And their story was common, and it still happens a lot today. It's just packaged differently. And this is why I always tell women to be very careful and very selective in who you marry, because you don't want to end up a lifetime servant like my grandmother and like so many other women still do to this day.
My mother was married 52 years, but she told me she was only happy for 5 of them. Let that sink in. People on the outside saw a 52-year marriage and probably called it successful. They may have admired her for staying, praised her commitment, or called it an example of everlasting love. But my mother experienced it differently. According to her, 47 of those years were spent unhappy. That taught me something painful. The number of years 2 people stay together tells us how long the marriage lasted. It doesn't tell us how safe, loved, respected, or emotionally fulfilled either person felt inside of it. Women have been conditioned to celebrate longevity without asking what someone had to tolerate to achieve it. Yes, a long marriage can represent love, longevity, forgiveness, and commitment, but sometimes it represents fear, financial dependency, family conditions, or the hope that one day things will finally change. Here are 5 reasons why a long marriage is not automatically a healthy marriage. Number 1, sometimes people stay because leaving will cost them everything. They may not have their own income, savings, credit, transportation, or a safe place to go. What the outside world calls commitment may actually be financial captivity. They didn't necessarily stay because they were happy. They stayed because they didn't believe they could survive on their own. Number 2, sometimes people were conditioned to tolerate suffering. Many women were taught that a good wife keeps her family together at any cost. They were told to pray harder, forgive again, remain quiet, and stop sharing what happened inside their homes. So they protected the appearance of the marriage while slowly losing their confidence, their voice, and their identity. Number 3, sometimes people stay for the children while quietly disappearing. They believe 2 parents should be in the household before they believe in divorce. But children can feel the tension. They see the disrespect. They hear the silence. They watch one parent shrink to keep the other parent comfortable without realizing the children may begin learning that suffering is a part of love. Number 4, Sometimes hopes become his own kind of person. They keep waiting for the apology, the counseling, the changed behavior, or the loving person they married to come back. Every temporary improvement gives them a reason to stay. 5 more years pass, then 10, then 20. They're no longer holding on to the marriage they had. They're holding on to the marriage they were promised. Number 5, sometime in marriage lasts because one person learned how to survive without being loved. They stop asking for affection. They stop expressing their needs. They stop expecting an apology. Eventually, they stop arguing. People assume the marriage has become peaceful. But sometimes the arguments stop because one person has emotionally checked out. They are still physically present, but they left emotionally years ago.
May this kind of love never find me. No, I don't want it. If you just see my face for the first time, my name is Pen Libra. We react to videos like this and we respond to anonymous messages. Do well to like this video, share to your family and friends. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe, okay? Thanks for watching. I love you all. Bye for now.